Fiorina, as you probably know, is a great CEO. What you might not know is that she worked her way through undergraduate and graduate school and began a business career as a secretary for a small business. She did become the first woman to lead a Fortune 20 company, serving as the chairman and chief executive officer of Hewlett Packard from 1999 to 2005. She was named Fortune's most powerful woman in business for 6 consecutive years. During her tenure at HP, she rejuvenated the company, tripled its rate of innovation, achieved market leadership, and transformed its cost structure and accelerated its growth. She successfully acquired an integrated compact computer in what is now seen as the most successful high-tech merger in history. Under her leadership, HP doubled the revenues to $88 billion and was generating 11 patents a day, with significantly improved profitability and cash flow. It's a real achievement for her and the company. She currently serves as chairman of Good 360, which is the world's largest product philanthropy organization. She's one of the most recognized business leaders in the world and an opinion leader who champions innovation, education, entrepreneurship, and job creation. Having her here obviously speaks volumes to her and to us. I've asked Carly to talk about her feelings on entrepreneurship, innovation, and its importance to our economy, and also to stick around and take some questions. Just after Carly speaks, we have another panel that will be a number of serial entrepreneurs who are active in the national security space, and they'll give us their evenings. So Carly, Fiorina, thank you so much for coming.
Well, good evening. It's great to be with you this evening, and may I start by saying that I wholeheartedly agree with absolutely everything Mike said and everything the Congressman said, and they both said it eloquently and well. I will also say that it's very wonderful to be back in this region. People know me perhaps as a Californian, but actually my husband and I met and married in the DC area. Our first home together was in Arlington, Virginia. We have a daughter who graduated from this university, and we have recently moved back to the Northern Virginia area about a year and a half ago, so it's good to be back home. I must tell you, I am not in the habit of accepting speaking invitations from strange men. And when I met Jonathan, he was at that time a strange man to me. I'd never met him before, but we, as he mentioned, we sat on a panel together and had quite a fascinating discussion with others about empathy in business. We all concluded, by the way, that yes, businesses need to be empathetic to be successful. But the idea that he described to me that evening of the Ballston Innovation Initiative made so much sense to me that, for reasons I'll share with you, that I literally instantaneously said yes. So why does it make so much sense? Well, first, as you have seen here in our community, as Mike so wonderfully pointed out to us, innovation and entrepreneurship lifts communities. It is the single greatest tool for providing the greatest number of opportunities and jobs for communities all over the nation. We know this. It's been demonstrated over and over again that if you want to have a vital, vibrant community, if you want to provide equal opportunity for as many people as possible, if you want to raise people's standards of living, if you want to lift people out of poverty, it doesn't matter whether it's Arlington, Virginia, or somewhere in Rwanda, what it takes is entrepreneurship and innovation. And in the last 40 years, this region has been transformed in no small measure by entrepreneurs who have provided opportunities. Sometimes we forget, particularly when we talk about big successful businesses like Hewlett Packard or others, or some of the great businesses that Mike had the great talent to build, we sometimes forget that it was and continues to be small businesses and individual entrepreneurs and innovators who have built this economy, who have built this nation. It has always been true. The story about me starting out in a small business is how most Americans start out. And in fact, if you look at the data, what you will see is that small and new businesses create more than 2/3 of the new jobs in this country. They always have. They employ more than half the people. And of course, we know that small businesses eventually become big businesses, but it is small and new businesses that actually are the engine of growth for communities all across this nation. And it is entrepreneurship and innovation that lifts people out of poverty all across the world. Whether it's an incredibly sexy, high-tech innovation, or whether, it's a restaurant or a deli or a dry cleaner. It is entrepreneurship and innovation. Somebody who has the courage, the vision to take a risk, to see something that someone else doesn't see, and go put everything they have into it. We were very proud when I was at Hewlett-Packard to be generating 11 patents a day, but the truth is that small and new businesses and individual entrepreneurs generate innovations at 11 times the rate of big established companies. So I'm here first and foremost because the goal of this initiative to further energize the entrepreneurship and innovative capability of this region is so important. By the way, my answer to the radio host would have been, well, we're a little bit like a shot of B12 vitamins. We kind of provide energy to the community, but anyway, maybe we can use that some other time. Second, all of the entrepreneurs here know this, but technology is truly a transformational tool. It is one of the very few transformational tools. And what do I mean by transformation? Well, technology, the application of technology, is one of the few things in the world that really can level the playing field so that everybody can play. Because what technology, of course, does is let any individual have access to any piece of information. I mean, think about, we're all so used to this now, we don't sometimes step back and think about how truly remarkable it is. Starting way back at ARPANET, we now are in a situation, thanks to the innovations of so many brilliant entrepreneurs, thanks to the research and development dollars that the federal government invested, thanks to lots of different players doing their part to innovate. We now are in a situation where any person, anywhere, can get access to any piece of information at any time on any device. It's stunning. It's unprecedented in human history. So that's one aspect of how technology is so transformational. But the other aspect is that it's the one thing, it's the one tool that we know allows any organization to do more with less, to achieve more results with a more efficient use of resources. You can't say that about a lot of things, but you can absolutely say it about technology. The importance of the innovations and the entrepreneurs in this region are not just important because the federal government is an important partner in research and development. They're not important just because the federal government is an important buyer of the technology and the capabilities. They're important because the federal government needs transformation. That's not a political statement. We can disagree, Congressman Moran and I might disagree on how much more the government needs to do. We might disagree on how much less it needs to do it with, but we absolutely agree that the demands on the federal government are going up, and the resources with which they will have to deliver those services are going down. That's a fact. He's nodding, just for those of you who can't see him. The federal government, like everything else, every other organization in the world right now, but particularly in an age of limited job growth, limited economic growth, austerity, sequestration, et cetera, government has to do more with less. Technology allows the government to do that. So this partnership between this technology and innovation and entrepreneurial community and the federal government isn't simply about allowing the government to do its job and fulfill its mission, although that's critically important. It's not simply about partnering with the government to do fundamental and fundamentally important research. It's also about helping the government get better at what the government is supposed to do. Third reason that I'm here. I think that in virtually every field of endeavor, the answer going forward is effective public-private partnerships. It doesn't matter if we're talking about community development, national security, aid to impoverished nations around the world. It doesn't matter what field of endeavor you think about. Or I was on a panel this morning talking about the idea of a national infrastructure bank. Any endeavor now is better if it is tackled from the point of view of an effective public-private partnership. All of the great research initiatives that Mike mentioned, that the Congressman mentioned, none of those great innovations would have happened without the steady investment by the federal government. I happen to be someone who believes the federal government should be spending more on basic research. I happen to believe that there are 4 industries that are going to define this century: energy, health and biotech, information tech, including all of the instantiations of social media, and aerospace and space tech. And because I believe those 4 industries will define this 21st century, I believe the federal government has to play an active role in funding basic research. And we are behind some other nations in some of these industries. But I also believe that the federal government won't be as effective in the outcome of those investments in research unless it does so through very effective partnerships, extremely effective entrepreneurs and innovators. And so, in an era where our government has to do more with less, in an increasingly competitive global economy, we need all the help we can get. And whatever your political persuasion is, our nation needs the entrepreneurs and the innovative capacity of this region. The last thing that I want to comment on before I open it up and take your questions is the vitality of this region. I've been here, I've left and spent a lot of time in Silicon Valley, and I've come back. And it wasn't that I was a stranger. During the time that we lived in California, we had a daughter here, granddaughters. But what I see going on in this area, let me just again punctuate something Congressman and Mike both said. This region, this community, this talent, these companies, this opportunity is second to none in the world. In fact, there are many things about the vitality of this technology community that remind me a little bit of what people used to sort of look in awe at in Silicon Valley in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't want to get into a contrast and compare with Silicon Valley and this region because it isn't necessary. You are the best in the world at the kinds of technologies and innovations that you are pursuing, focused on a set of requirements and customers that are in this region, and it shows. And Mike is absolutely right. People all over the world know it. So this is an initiative to celebrate the accomplishments of this community. It is an initiative designed to re-energize entrepreneurs and innovators in this community. Because although the entrepreneurs and innovators that I know have a lot of energy, let's face it, it's hard. It's hard. And there are times when it's good to have support. And this initiative, I think, is designed, I hope, to highlight for everyone in the community how important entrepreneurship and innovation is. Not just for the people who buy the products, not just for the entrepreneurs who maybe build a successful company, but for the life and the vitality and the health and the income level of the communities in which they are a part. So I think it's a great initiative. I applaud the terrific entrepreneurs that you've gotten here this evening. I am hugely impressed with what this community has already done, and the needs are very great going forward. I mentioned a couple minutes ago that we are at a time in human history that is unprecedented. What an individual can do, the power that technology brings, and that is true. So if we think about the 21st century, what is the 21st century about? The Congressman mentioned it. We're not the biggest country in the world anymore. This is the innovation century. This is the century that is about brain power. The company, the country, the community with the best brain power wins. The United States must be the innovation nation of the 21st century. It's why immigration reform is so important. It's why education reform is so important. It's why basic R&D is so important. We must be the innovation nation of the 21st century if we want to continue to be the leading economy in the world. And this, Northern Virginia, this community has the opportunity to be the innovation community of the innovation nation. That's a historic chance. And you've already demonstrated so much success. So, congratulations to Jonathan for getting this off the ground. And I know everyone's going to grab it with both hands.
I hope they do.
Thank you. I look forward to taking it.